And a good evening to you, everyone, and welcome to the Montgomery Fieldhouse on the campus of Northwest Nazarene College as TCI 10 Sports brings you the quarterfinal round of the NAIA Division II National Basketball Championships. Tonight's matchup, the final quarterfinal game of the night, as the host school, Northwest Nazarene, plays host to Northwestern of Iowa. And a good evening to you, everyone. I'm Mike Boyle, along with the coach, Ross Cook. And certainly 3 teams already in the semifinal round. One more berth to be decided. The final quarterfinal matchup, the number 2 team in the nation, Northwestern Iowa, taking on the host school in NNC. And certainly Ross Cook, from what we've seen thus far, it should be a great battle tonight.
Everybody scores a lot. Everybody scores a lot. No place for the faint of heart. Ed Weidenbach, your team, you have 7 people scoring over double figures. You're shooting 50%. You're up against the number 2 team in the country tonight, Ed.
Well, they're very good defensively. They're very physical. They're strong inside, so it's going to be a great challenge for us.
You've been shooting the ball extremely well, and you're getting a lot out of your defense.
Well, I think that in championship play, defense is a must if you're going to be successful, and we're going to have our hands full with the Duma kid that shoots outside, and they got Bomars inside that can score. So they've really got great weapons all over the floor, so it's going to be a real challenge for us defensively.
Super first 2 rounds. Congratulations. Good luck tonight, Ed.
Thank you, Russ.
Thank you. Big-time scorers, 7 of them playing hard, and you have, on the other side, 3 players who can fill it up with the best of them.
Absolutely. And turning to Coach Todd Berry of Northwestern, you had 3 players. Your big guns come up big for you last night. You had to. A tough ball game against McMurray, having to go to overtime.
Well, it really was. McMurray came out and played well, but all 3 of our seniors came up big when they needed to.
And certainly, you look at this ball club at NNC, you've had the chance to watch them in the first 2 rounds, just shooting lights out in their home building. What do you have to do defensively to kind of shut them down?
I was hoping maybe you'd tell me that, Mike. I tell you,
Well,
hey, they are playing extremely well, and they're shooting the ball extremely well. I tell you what we're going to try and do is we're just going to try and grab on with our teeth and hold on for dear life, and hopefully we can slow them down a little bit.
Certainly, Coach Ed Weidenbach, concerned about the physical level of play and your physical presence inside. Look to bang the ball inside tonight.
Well, I think we need a good balance inside and outside. I mean, that's part of our game, and that's what makes good teams is when you can do both in that. We kind of believe in scratching where it itches. If they give us the inside, we'll take that. If they give us the outside, we'll try and exploit that.
Okay, Coach, best of luck to you.
Thank you, Mike.
Todd Berry, head coach at Northwestern of Iowa, and Ross, certainly they do have their hands full. Coming in as the number 2 team, they have to come in as the favorite, but right now when you're playing a team that's at home, you certainly can't approach it as a national tournament game, but more or less a road contest.
It almost is a road contest. I would say this crowd is giving NNC a solid 15 points. They're shooting the ball brilliantly from the perimeter, and they're shooting in their home gym. They've been shooting here for their career, so it really does help them. But you just bet Northwestern very tough on the defensive end. Both of these teams score big numbers, but they create a lot on the defensive end.
Should be a great contest. Great defense, great offense, great contrast in the styles. We'll have the tip-off and the starting lineups of this quarterfinal matchup between Northwest Nazarene and Northwestern after this. Welcome back to Montgomery Fieldhouse, everyone. Mike Boyle along with Ross Cook as another raucous crowd here at Montgomery Fieldhouse for the Northwest Nazarene Crusaders in their bid to get back to the semifinals in the NAIA Division II National Basketball Championships. As we mentioned in the pregame, Ross, 3 teams already in the semifinal round of this tournament. As we take a look at the brackets, Lewis Clark earlier today knocking off the number 1 seed Taylor of Indiana by a score of 72-60 in a very impressive second half performance. They will play Northern State, who was in the finals last year, lost to Willamette, as they knocked off a furious rally from Huron. So it'll be Lewis Clark and Northern State in one semifinal, and the other one, the defending national champions, Willamette. The Bearcats knocked off by Eureka. Very physical game as Eureka moves on to the semis, and they will play the winner of this game between Northwest Nazarene and Northwestern. And you look at the bracket right now, a lot of familiar names from last year, Ross Cook.
Northern certainly played great today, and yes, the fact that Huron came back at them very hard at the end of the ball game was just a case that they decided to stop shooting the outside shot, and then didn't shoot the ball well from the free throw line, but they bomb it. They absolutely bomb it from 3, and they have Burkhalter down low, and he is awfully tough.
Northern State, a force as always at these national tournaments. They went to the finals last year, looking to get back this year as we take a look at the starting lineups for tonight. For NNC, starting at the guard position, Todd Shoemaker and Rolando Garcia. At center, Eric Spencer. And at the forward, Sheldon McLean, who had a great ball game against Alice Lloyd in the Crusaders' last victory. And Amiko Atete, who has been far and away NNC's most valuable player thus far. Meanwhile, for Northwestern, Craig Dalma, second-team All-American last year. Great score for Northwestern of Iowa. Will be at the guard position. At center, Joe Baumgars. He's the real inside force for Northwestern. Meanwhile, for the Red Raiders at the forwards, Dan Winterfeld, Ross Dalma, who happens to be the second cousin of Craig Dalma, the guard, and Jason Anderson at the other forward position.
3 Dalmas on this ball team, and Craig Dalma is the one who scores the points. The interesting team, they have 2 big rebounders and they have 3 scorers, and that's how they play it. They're very role-oriented. The forwards are very physical. They set a lot of screens and pound the boards, and the center and the 2 guards do the shooting damage.
And certainly Craig Dalma leading the way as he did in their win last night over McMurray. Dalma averages 23 points a game, and he lit it up for 32 against McMurray in that overtime win. He was certainly the focus for him offensively, and that should be a great matchup with Dalma and Rolando Garcia in the backcourt.
And Joe Bongar's down the baseline at 28 last night, and that's well above his average, but he was very tough. And it's critical for NNC that they keep Amico Atete on the floor tonight. He's running all-world numbers, but last night he only played 18 minutes. You wouldn't have known it by looking at the box score. He put him on the board in a hurry, but they need him in as they go further and deeper into this tournament. They need him to play big minutes.
Certainly, you mentioned the fact just 18 minutes, Ross. He had 14 points and 11 rebounds against Alice Lloyd, which are pretty good numbers for a full game. But as you mentioned, they need him on the floor, and it will be Amico Atete to jump it up for Northwest Nazarene. Meanwhile, for the Northwestern Red Raiders, Joe Baumgars, the 6'7 senior. And it'll be Northwestern to control. That's Craig Dalma with the basketball. Inside, Baumgars, and he hits the turnaround.
Very good at isolating him and feeding him from the front of the key, right from the free throw line straight down.
Baumgars averaging over 18 points a contest. Puts the Red Raiders up by 2. Number 2 team in the nation, Northwestern.
Northwestern very good. It'd be interesting to see if they can make NNC go slowly.
Spencer from 15 drops in the jumper, and we're tied at 2.
NNC with very tough pressure on the ball. That's where they really have to take it.
Outside jumper is no good from Anderson. And here come the Crusaders once again. Rolando Garcia out top. Look for Atete, goes to McLean for 3. He can't hit it, and Baumgars down with the rebound. Red Raiders on the break. It's Ross Dalma. Craig Dalma looking to shoot. He will pull up from 3. Can't hit it, and McLean cleans the glass. Garcia breaks to Atete. Atete can't hit the layup. Battle for the loose ball, and it will be Shoemaker for 3.
NNC with the fast break shot, offensive rebound, loose ball recovery, and then the 3.
Been the story of the tournament. Extra possessions mean extra baskets, and NNC has dominated in that area. Drive inside. Baumgars on the baseline. Rolls it up and in.
Baumgars shooting 66% from the field of the year.
Baumgars with all 4 points for the Red Raiders. 1 point lead for the Crusaders. Just underway here at Montgomery Fieldhouse. We've played 2 minutes of this first half. Spencer's open again.
An outside ball game where they'll be able to take their center, pull him away from the hoop, and let him shoot an 18-footer. See if Baumgars can go that far away from the hole and defend.
Spencer matching Baumgars for basket with 4 each, and the drive inside that time from Dan Winterfeld.
You have a hard time helping because they have Baumgart on the baseline who scores so well.
The lane parted like the Red Sea for Winterfeld, and he went in for the easy bucket. Draws the Red Raiders back within a point. Spencer working down low. Gets the kind roll.
Great ball location by the Crusaders.
Baumgars and Spencer going at it down low. That's Dalma kicking it out to Craig Dalma, and he buries the 3.
Great shooting from the perimeter. They can shoot it with their feet still. They just catch it and the ball goes on its way. Don't need to put it down, don't need to step.
We're tied up at 9. Both teams shooting lights out right now. Shoemaker kicks it to Garcia for 3. Ball was deflected, but there's McLean, and the ball is knocked out of bounds that time by Winterfeld.
Ball off the lip on the short side, and again, it was loose. It's a rebound, but it bounced on the floor, and NNC comes up with it. That's every loose ball so far.
Shoemaker for 3. Touch Shoemaker, the 5'11 sophomore from Kennewick, Washington, with 6. And the lead at 3 for the Crusaders. Winterfield drives it, knocked away by Shoemaker. He's got a Tete. He'll drive all the way. Draws contact, but nothing coming, and he misses the bucket. Winterfield with a rebound.
2-on-1, but by the time he got the shot up, 4 Raiders back.
Dalma driving. Offensive foul on Craig Dalma.
Interesting, we were sitting with a bunch of coaches last night, and they were saying every time he went to the left corner that there was going to be a shove. You can see him come right into your camera here, lowers the shoulder, and is going to put his feet under him and pop back right there. They called him for the elbow, but it was actually the shoulder. Offensive foul, getting room for the shot.
First foul of the contest for Dalma. Garcia rolls off the pick. Rebound goes to Jason Anderson. Dalma looks for Baumgars, working on the block. Can't hit that one. There's Winterfield for the rebound. He's going to draw the foul on Garcia.
Ball coming down here. They had a very close shot, and as everybody focused on Baumgars in the backside, well, they don't call it shooting, they call it on the floor. On the rebound, the foul, taking it down.
Foul on Garcia is his first.
Now they say he was shooting.
Referees for tonight, Bob Benoit, Kenneth Hill, and Bern Haskins.
I think this is the correct call, that he actually was in the possession and on the way back up. One point of concern, if you're an NNC Crusader fan, is the Raiders are bringing the ball down and put it on the block in one pass. It just comes down and goes right to the center. That's a little too easy. You need to make it difficult to put the ball inside.
Crusaders lead is 1. McLean working on the left side. Wants to get it down low. It's knocked away, but retrieved by McLean. Red Raiders, fairly tall ball club. Other than Dalma, shortest man on the floor, 6'3". Spencer working inside. And a rebound to Winterfeld. Baumgars, blocked by Spencer. Battle for the loose ball. Goes to Dalma.
There is a team, the first one we've seen respond in kind to the NNC Crusaders. Ball goes loose, they get it, and then hammer with a 3 of their own. First time in 2 games.
Red Raiders with their first lead of the contest at 14-12. Atete on the baseline. Can't hit the jumper. And a rebound to Dalma. Looking to drive. Dalma, left side. Hits it on the baseline. Inside, outside. He can play.
NNC blasting to the other end, and 3 Raiders back.
Garcia is open. He can't hit it. And right now, the NNC shooting that has been so hot in this tournament starting to cool off. 3 straight possessions without a hoop. Baumgars working down low, blocked by Spencer, but they're going to call the foul with the body on Spencer.
Again, this is a case of great ball location. Ball swinging in from the top, and you can see he has him hooked. He goes right around him in one dribble. There's the shot. From behind, they say there was body there. Certainly wasn't on the ball.
8-4 rebounds.
16-12 in favor of Northwestern as Joe Baumgars, a 6'7" senior, going to the line. 77% free throw shooter this season.
Differently than we've seen thus far in the tournament, NNC being out-rebounded by the tune of 8-4 at this point.
And NNC thus far just getting 1 shot at the basket for the last 4 possessions. Baumgars hits both free throws. He now has 6. As Ben Brown, the 6'5" sophomore, will check in, as well as Kurt Hoffman, a 6'1" sophomore, coming in at the guard position.
NNC comes into the front court shooting 39%. Not bad, but it's not keeping close to the 60% of Northwestern right now.
Atete can't hit the gimme, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Brown. So NNC will get another possession. Joel Marion also into the lineup now for the Crusaders. He's number 40.
Joel Marion has come in and given the NNC great boosts on the boards. So that lopsided 8-4 rebounding edge is in the hands of Marion to change now.
We've played just over 6 minutes of this first half. The quarterfinal round, the NAIA Division II National Championship. Northwestern leading it by 6. Shoemaker loses the ball. Stolen away that time. Hoffman comes up with it. Dalma working on Garcia. Likes to go left, goes inside, and he's going to draw another offensive foul as he goes into Marion.
Great job of NNC getting a lot of bodies over there that time, because if you're one-on-one, this may go anywhere, but now he drives by one. Rolando goes up behind him looking for the block. Here's the first person, and by the time he comes down, there's Amico there to block the shot. So really rushing to the basketball defensively by the Crusaders.
And now Northwestern kind of exposing the fact they just have 2 fouls, but both of them on their leading scorer, Craig Dalma.
And their leader. He certainly is their heart and soul of this basketball team.
Atete drives in strong. He can't hit the chippy again. Amico Atete's had several opportunities inside, just can't convert. Winterfeld looking to drive. The kick out. That's Anderson. Hoffman outside, can't come up with it. Board presence. And the foul's going to be on Garcia. And right now, Northwestern just beating NNC to the glass.
NNC just not enough big bodies on the board. You're going to see this ball come off the backside. There's Rolando Garcia in there battling with the trees. Just look at the average height along the baseline, and Northwestern's much bigger at 3 positions. Very prevalent in that they have a big body to put on Amico and keep him down.
Anderson moves inside. He's going to draw the foul on Marion.
I think they're going to call it on Schumacher.
Take a look at it one more time.
Fake. Marion takes it up. The drive underneath. Ball or arm. Looked like he had him on the arm.
Yep, foul on Todd Shoemaker.
Just think where the location is on this ball most of the time in the offensive possessions for Northwestern. It is right inside the key. The ball is from about 12 feet in, and that's where all the action's been this far, and that's why we're seeing that many fouls on the Crusaders.
Jason Anderson hitting both free throws, and now the lead at 8 for the Red Raiders, and Northwest Nazarene going to talk things over. 12:35 to go in our first half of play. It's Northwestern 20-12. Red Raiders lead it by 8, and in large part because NNC not hitting shots, unlike their first 2 ball games in this tournament. Good example right here of Amico Atete inside.
That was in his second and 2 possessions that he had missed also.
Loose ball, Atete comes up with it, gets it to Shoemaker. Garcia is open from 3, decides not to pull it up, and he'll reset. Shoemaker, Chad Herron.
Electricity off the bench.
He was electricity last night with 5 3-pointers, and he gets off to a good start tonight. Draws the Crusaders within 5. Dalma for 3. There's Marion on the glass. Garcia, 12-footer.
The Red Raiders are dropping 2 immediately as soon as the ball goes up. Marion electrifying this team as they've come in 2 possessions, played great. But the Red Raiders have stopped this time, dropping, going everybody to the boards. They're dropping 2 at this point, and NNC's gotten the last rebounds and taken off with them.
Ball was knocked out of bounds by Atete as Garcia will go to the bench. Sheldon McLean now back into the lineup. So basically, Ed Weidenbach going with a 3-forward formation. Nice drive by Anderson as he went right by Atete.
Amico thought there was going to be some help.
Aaron was looking to shoot. Instead, will pull over from 15. Can't hit it. There's McLean doing a tightrope back on the baseline, but he'll be out of bounds, so it'll be Red Raider ball.
Red Raiders shooting 6 for 6 from the free throw line thus far. NNC, who's been burning it up, are shooting 33%. Raiders shooting 50% from the field.
You had to wonder how long NNC was going to be able to continue the torrid shooting streak they've been on. They've been shooting 50% as a team for the last 15 games.
The difference is they're not getting open shots here. The one more pass theory isn't working.
Atete nearly coming up with the steal.
They need to create opportunities to get themselves into the open court. Because the Red Raiders defensively are getting back on the fast break, and they're also staying in front of the shooters. That one extra pass, you see them go into a dribble exchange. We'll discuss it as they go back down the floor. The Red Raiders with the ball now.
Dalma goes to his second cousin Ross. They're in trouble, and Shoemaker comes up with a loose ball. Marion, and a turnover, and it's going to turn right back again as Northwestern throws it away.
No one has played NNC like that. NNC had 3-on-2, and by the time they got there, it was 3-on-3. Red Raiders are big and large, and they look slow, but they're not at all. They are really covering this 94-foot hardwood.
I think they've caught Northwest Nazarene off balance with their quickness as well, because they don't look like they're that quick, but truly they are, and have shown it thus far. Rebound to Baumgars as Herron couldn't hit the three.
NNC needs to pick up the pressure on the ball.
Winterfeld tried to go back inside to Baumgars, picked off by Spencer. Break opportunity. And the Red Raiders fall back.
Again, no numbers on the fast break. Not getting shots out of the turnovers.
At the midway point of this first half, Northwestern leads the Crusaders by 5 at 22-17. Shoemaker on the baseline in the land of trees will kick it back out. There's McLean open from three. And unlike last night when he was burying him, McLean missing that time.
If you're an NNC faithful, though, you're not shooting it at all well, and you're only down by 5.
Missed by Baumgars. Crusaders chance to get within 3. Herron from way out. Can't hit that one. And rebound coming down to Ross Dalma. Red Raiders looking to break. Winterfeld drives in. And we're going to have a foul called on Marion. They were looking for the jump ball. And instead the foul on Joel Marion, the 6'6 senior, his first.
Just a case of continuing to go to the hoop. Here it is. Marion has ball there, but as you just continue to plow right through his position, he ends up grabbing a hold of you, and that's what they called. Take it to the rack when you've got it. Take it all the way.
Kurt Hoffman will check out now for the Red Raiders.
6 for 6 from the free throw line this far.
And even though NNC just with 5 team fouls, the majority of those have been shooting fouls. So the Red Raiders have been able to take advantage at the line. First free throw miss. Battle for the loose ball goes NNC. Red Raiders continue to lead it. They're up by 6. Herron's shot is blocked, but Spencer comes down with it. Looking to work in the lane on Baumgars, draws the foul.
I would think in these in-between possessions like this, while you're waiting for the momentum to come back to get an easy bucket here or there, you do put the ball on the block, try and challenge Baumgars to stay in the basketball game. You know, just he can't score on you when he's on the bench. And so I would try and put the ball on the block 3 or 4 or 5 times, give him some pump fakes and see if we can put him out of here. Conversely, the defense all the way around for the Red Raiders is just consistent. They're consistent on the block. They're consistent on the pressure outside.
Eric Spencer now with 5 points. He's averaged 13 in this tournament. Averaged 9 through the season. This is the second one. Does struggle from the free throw line, though, just 64%.
He's played a fine floor game thus far.
Dalma looking to drive. And hits it. Dalma with 10 of Northwestern's 25. Lead as at 7. Sharon's open for 3. Herron.
Rolando Garcia is responsible for the excellence of this basketball team. his taste of when to go and when not to go is critical for the Crusaders.
Kornstad will now check in for the Crusaders, coming in for Chad Herron. Reed Kornstad, 6-foot junior. Approaching the 8-minute mark to go in this first half of play. It's 25-21, Northwestern. Dalma from way out. There's Winterfeld working inside. Can't hit the shot, though. Looking for the foul.
Red Raiders back. NNC just breaking the tournament 3-on-3 record with Herron in the ball game and now back to the bench. 32.
At 14 each in their first 2 wins. McLean for 3.
And they add to the record. 1-point ball game at 7:34. The Red Raiders say that's enough.
Northwestern's lead has been cut to 1, and the Red Raiders will talk it over. 7:34 remaining in our first half. One of Northwestern of Iowa. You see the score right there on your screen. Big run by the Crusaders as a couple of 3-pointers from Chad Herron and Sheldon McLean have got them back into this one. Anderson open from 3. Can't hit it. We're going to have a foul underneath, and it's going to be against Northwestern. And it's going to go against Joe Baumgars, his second.
A lot of people play this formation, but few people can play it as well as the Red Raiders. The ball goes to the block, and then their high post, instead of hitting a 15-footer, steps back behind the 3 to shoot it and gives you 4 people on the perimeter who can shoot it. They leave Baumgars a lot of room on the baseline.
And now the Red Raiders have to be a little concerned as their 2 leading scorers, Dalma and Baumgars, with 2 fouls apiece. Kent Dalma, number 20, now into the ballgame. See him working on Todd Shoemaker. He's now in for the Red Raiders. Crusaders looking to take back the lead. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Shoemaker forces it inside. Rebound to Winterfeld. Check that, Ross Dalma, and the foul's going to be on Shoemaker. He's going to check his dental work as well.
May have just lost a tooth right there. You're going to see a wild shot go up, and as Shoemaker attempts to chase it down, he's going to take an elbow. Oh, we're just screened off. No, you can just see it right there.
Can't see the tooth flying out, though, but he did indeed lose a tooth, and he's going to have to come out of the ball game.
More and more people wearing mouth guards in this game as it's gone from the tall, thin man's finesse game to a power game anymore.
6:50 remaining in our first half. Meanwhile, Dalma has to come out because his elbow has a little bit of the blood from Shoemaker's mouth, so they're going to have to clean him up. Rule in college basketball, that player has blood, so he's got a cut on his arm right there from where the tooth came across, so he's going to have to check out.
You get a chance to coach here as we have a moment to talk about coaching strategy. You have 2 fouls on your big guns. Do you take Dalma out? Well, they've certainly looked at taking Baumgars out. Baumgars is out, and Dalma was out for that 1 possession, but he's back in now. They went 1 possession without him, so now we're going to put our point guard, our general, back in. But they are going without their center.
First time we've seen the Crusaders in the zone in quite a while in this tournament. That's Hoffman. Can't hit the jumper, battle for the loose ball, and it's going to go to Northwestern as an alert play that time by Ben Brown, hitting it off the foot of Sheldon McLean. Get the delay in the action as Amiko Atete fixes the laces.
Good shot of one of the quickest big man in this tournament, who's been holding court in the first 2 rounds.
Look at his numbers: 15 points, 14 boards in the first round against Husson, 14 points, 11 boards against Alice Lloyd in the second round, and that's in very limited playing time.
Just under 18 minutes. And against Husson, he had 13 boards in one half. They got the game under control, then he cruised the rest of the way.
Just tuning in, it's Northwestern leading it by 1 point over NNC.
Red Raiders put Baumgars on the bench, and NNC says, we're going to force you to hit us from outside. We're going to play zone against you.
Winterfeld can't hit the jumper. Battle for the loose ball. There's Brown over Spencer. Hoffman for the three-pointer. He can't hit a battle for the loose ball. It's going to be the Red Raiders again. And we're going to have a foul on Northwestern as Kornstad was going after it. They're going to call the foul on Winterfeld.
Long rebounds from long shots. That ball going a long way before anybody could get to it. Never in this tournament have we seen NNC outrun to loose balls, and it's happening repeatedly from the Red Raiders.
Coach Ed Weidenbach, before the first round game against Husson, said that was going to be a real key. Blocking off and getting the long rebound. They were successful in the first two games, but haven't thus far tonight as Kornstad can't hit the three.
That was the first open three out of their offense, though.
Hoffman drives inside. He can't hit a battle for the loose ball. It's going to be on Northwestern over the back.
NNC doing a better job in the zone of just getting more bodies to the boards. Before we showed they were getting 3 bodies to the boards, and as often as not, the third body was Rolando Garcia. Watch how many white jerseys are on the glass this time. You have 4 in your screen at once. Just doing a better job of getting size to the window.
You saw number 22, Kurt Hoffman, the 6'1 sophomore, going over the back that time of Eric Spencer. For Hoffman, his first foul. Now team fouls at one time 5-2 in favor of Northwestern, now even up at 6. So the next foul in either ball club will result in the 1-and-1 for the rest of the half. 5:20 remaining.
Rebounds now at 21-12, favoring Northwestern.
Garcia, we're going to have a foul up top. It's going to be a moving pick, and it's going to be called on Eric Spencer. And that will be his second, so 3 NNC starters with 2 fouls, Spencer, Garcia, and Shoemaker. As Joel Marion will now check back in for Spencer.
Very, very tough to get around the picks when they're rolling back toward the basket. And you're a stretched, 6'3", they say, against 6'10", or 6'8". Don't believe that's 6'3" there either. Very, very tough. Incredibly physical on the screens.
Dalma, who's automatic from the foul line. He shoots 85% for the year there. Hit some key ones in that win over McMurray. Able to hit both there.
Tete picking himself up off the floor again on just a routine rebound. That's very rough.
3-point lead for Northwestern. Atete open from 15. Can't hit the shot. And Brown with a rebound. Montgomery Fieldhouse crowd trying to get the Crusaders back in it, although they trail it by just 3.
Red Raiders very patient offensively, running false motion for the first half of the shot clock. Baumgars on the bench. They're plenty content to run this clock a wee bit.
Rosdalman's 3-point attempt, no good. Battle for the loose ball, and here come the Crusaders on the break. Marion will pull it to McLean. Atete open inside.
I think they're going to have to force this defense back under the bucket by putting it into the block more often, particularly in transition.
They've certainly had the shot opportunities. Atete, for one, hasn't been able to convert most of the time, but Spencer, when he's gotten the ball in the block, has been very effective. Dalma, 3-pointer. His third 3-pointer. He has 15. Lead is at 4 for the Red Raiders. Heron for 3. Chad Heron on fire from 3-point land, and he brings the Crusaders back within 1.
Heron shooting the ball extremely well. Spencer scoring inside. Everybody else in a flux, and they're down by 1. NNC back to the man-to-man defense.
Winterfeld slashing strong to the hoop. Nice lay-in. He's a real slasher to the basket. He showed it there. Garcia all the way to the other end. Can't hit it. And the rebound to Anderson. Red Raiders on the break. Dish back to Brown. And the Red Raiders just beating NNC up and down the floor right now.
Gigantic boxing match. As soon as NNC musters a little bit of a run, the Raiders are right back.
Aaron all day.
Phenomenal shooting.
Boy, you can see he just wants the basketball right now.
Eddie changing defenses, says let's go back to the zone. Down 2:23 to go. First half.
And this crowd right back in it as well. Dalma way outside. Can't hit it. There's Anderson for the loose ball. It's blocked out of bounds by Marion. But right now, Northwestern consistently beating NNC to the glass.
Much quicker. They're much quicker. They're getting and they're quick with size on the backside. Playing 4 out against the zone. Going to use the center as a pivot.
Anderson will try the three, can't hit it, but he beats everyone to the basketball. Can't convert though, and Marion comes down with the rebound. Crusaders getting a break there as Anderson was wide open on the layup and just blew the chippy. McLean. Back to Heron from three-point land.
Fading that time.
You're right, he was falling backwards instead of going towards the hoop, and it cost him.
NNC stay in zone. They're using their center as a pivot. They'll give it to him, and he'll turn and throw the ball out.
Winterfeld, tough shot, and there's going to be a foul inside on Brown as he shoved off on Marion.
We'd have to run the replay way back on this, but you could see that Brown saw the shot coming long before. It went to Duma, and he said, Duma's not going to pass this thing, he's going to shoot it. The center has gone from where Itete came from and run to the weak side for the rebound, knowing if it's going to be missed. The percentages says it's going to come off the backside, and sure enough, it came right to him, but he had a shove over the back.
Marion can't hit the front end of the 1-and-1. Dalma way out. Can't hit that one, but there's Anderson on the glass.
Amico Itete is hurt and in the back court, just limping into the front court. Not so sure he didn't sprain his ankle when we saw him tying his shoelace.
He's running right to the locker room right now. He didn't waste any time.
That ball was shot before Amico entered the front court.
Spencer and Shoemaker now back into the lineup. Key moment for Northwest Nazarene that both of those players with 2 personal fouls, so certainly don't want to pick up number 3 in the final minute of this first half.
NNC playing zone now. The Red Raiders high-low, but they shoot the same 3.
Ross Dalma hits the three-pointer, his first 3 of the ball game.
Ross primarily a rebounder for this team, not a three-point shooter.
Spencer's open on the baseline.
First time the Red Raiders have shown zone. 1 pass jump shot.
3-point lead for the Red Raiders. Final 30 seconds, as you can see in the bottom right hand of your screen. Red Raiders will look for the last shot. And Dalma, he's the man.
He is. NNC in the zone. Dalma on the penetration.
His shot is blocked. Break opportunity for the Crusaders. And a great play by Ross Dalma to break up the pass from Heron, and that will do it for the first half of play here at Montgomery Fieldhouse.
Last play of the half, typical of the play of the NNC. NNC 4-on-1 fast break, and the quickness of the Red Raiders stop it as they throw the high feed and they tip it away and get control of the ball.
And even though NNC has come back to earth and has struggled a little bit, they trail it by just 3 points here at halftime. So certainly the Crusaders can't feel too badly about how things have gone in this first half of play. Ross and I will return with all the halftime statistics after this quick timeout. Right now, first time the Crusaders have trailed at half in this national tournament. And we were talking during the break, Ross, about the fact that for the first time in this tournament, a team has really taken it to NNC on the glass.
Really pounding NNC on the glass, almost doubling the rebounds on them, 30-16. A big difference right there. And what that has done is it's caused NNC to foul Northwestern. And Northwestern has 9 points from the free throw line. It's all even in shot attempts. It's the issue that NNC's made 1 free throw versus 9 for Northwestern, and the NNC's only down 3, so they're lucky to be only down 3 at this juncture, as they're only shooting 38% from the field, where they've shot 57 and 50% in the first half of the first 2 games of this tournament.
And it's borne out right there as we take a look at the statistics. 3-pointers have really kept NNC in it. Chad Herron in particular with 4 of those 7. Rebounding, you see the big difference right there. Turnovers not a factor thus far.
Herron outstanding coming off the bench and shooting the ball extremely well. He only took 1 that he was off balance on, and that's the one he missed.
Herron leading the way at halftime for NNC with 12 points. Meanwhile, also for Northwestern leading the way, it's Craig Duma with 15, Winterfeld with 7. And for NNC, it's Eric Spencer with 9. And certainly, we've talked a little bit about the fact that NNC maybe has to exploit the low post area, get the ball down to Spencer and Atete maybe a little more to get Baumgars in foul trouble.
I think there are some nebulous possessions in this ball game. You know, they're going up and down, they're trading possessions, and when you run the pace NNC generally runs at, they don't mind wasting a possession or 2. But what they're not getting tonight is they're not getting the easy bucket when they have numbers. They've run 5 or 6 fast breaks and have not gotten a fast break bucket, a layup off it yet. And conversely, the Red Raiders have actually run on NNC once and gotten a fast break bucket, something we have yet to see in 2 games of basketball here in Montgomery Fieldhouse.
Defense the difference thus far for Northwestern. They lead it by 3 here at halftime over NNC. We'll be back with the second half tip-off after this. Halftime winding down here at Montgomery Fieldhouse on the campus of Northwest Nazarene College. And the home team, the Crusaders, trailing it by 3. Mike Boyle along with Ross Cook as we are ready to begin second half action of this NAIA Division II National Quarterfinal Contest. The winner of this game will go to the semifinals and play Eureka of Illinois. They knocked off the defending national champions Willamette earlier today, 71-63. Meanwhile, in the other semifinal bracket, it is set Lewis and Clark from Portland, Oregon, knocking off the number 1 seed Taylor of Indiana, 72-60. They will play Northern State, team that was in the finals last year and lost to Willamette, as Northern knocked off Huron 102-98. And we are underway here in the second half.
Lewis and Clark played great man-to-man defense. They were way down and came way back, playing super defense in the 3-quarter court.
Atete getting the ball in the low post, something we talked about, and the Crusaders getting the loose ball. Spencer, the bucket and the foul.
There you go for the tie ball game, or a shot at the tie ball game. NNC getting on the glass. I'm sure Mr. Weidenbach wasn't any too gentle in the locker room about what they had to do. Nice strong pivot in, wrist bent, good lead with the elbow there to keep the defender off him, little elbow in the head there, and the foul goes on the defense.
Winterfeld picking up his second.
First possession, they pick up 3 and they get it on the boards right where they needed it.
Spencer with 12 now, and we're in a tie ball game just like that. Winterfeld strong to the hoop.
Great ball location by this team. They really do a wonderful job of getting the ball to the mid post, the low post when they need to. I don't know if that was a pick or a New York City traffic jam. 3 people in there.
Garcia going inside. He's going to draw the blocking foul. Looks like it's going to go on Winterfeld again. And that will be the call. Dan Winterfeld coming out of the locker room with 2 quick fouls, and now he has 3.
Orlando down, takes a shot of the solar plexus. As you can see him taking it in, driving on Duma, puts it up, but by the time he gets there, it's going to be very crowded. Shot right in the solar plexus as he was leading with his chest. Actually got whiplashed a little bit as he had his body and head in front of his feet. Where am I here, he says.
Looking like a stunned boxer.
Yep, where am I? They're a little unable to catch his breath. They'll get some smelling salts on him, and I don't know if he may be bleeding from his nose.
Trainers are going to make sure, and certainly the Crusaders will miss him out on the floor. Chad Herron now back into the lineup, so Shoemaker will go to the point for the Crusaders.
Shoemaker played about 6 possessions at the point in the first half with Rolando on the bench.
Now Garcia, since he can't shoot the free throws, Heron has been designated by Coach Ed Weidenbach to shoot him.
I was wondering if that was too close for Heron to shoot him, but he converts right there.
Heron, normally an excellent free throw shooter, 82% for the year, but the way he has been shooting, you have to wonder if he's too close.
What a great sound.
Heron with 14, and we're tied up once again. Dalma can't hit the three.
More of the NNC pace here. One pass and a jump shot. Need to enter the ball to the block. Nico is open down there. Let him work and put fouls on the baseline.
You see the focus, try to get it down low, but Heron throws up the air ball, and it's going to be off of Northwestern as for some reason Winterfeld went for it.
He touched it. He touched it as it went by him. He was surprised that it aired, and it actually had his hands up near the net and touched the ball on the way out of bounds.
Checking in the lineup now for Northwestern, John Ustra, 6'4" freshman, first appearance tonight. Shoemaker for three.
Let's see how quickly the Red Raiders shoot the ball this time down.
Baumgars strong to the hole, working on Spencer, and gets the roll.
Again, location. They know where they need a bucket. They just slam it down there in one pass.
Talking with Coach Todd Berry in his 4th year at Northwestern, he said they played a lot of tough road games this year, and they feel they're very experienced in environments such as this, and certainly they've shown it thus far.
Great interview at the beginning of the show. What a wily guy, you know. Thought he was going to start telling you stories midway through the interview. We scratch where it itches, he says.
Heron's shot is errant, and it goes off the top of the glass, so Northwestern will get the basketball back with a chance to retake the lead. We've played just over 2 minutes of this second half.
Actually, his story was as good as his team. They do attack you at various angles.
And they certainly seize what you give them, inside and out. Dalma working inside, off the glass.
Shoemaker trying to stay in the same zip code as Dalma right now, really getting picked off on the screens, and Rolando's back up on the bench talking to Eddie Weidenbach.
Red Raiders retake the lead at 43-42. McLean open from three. There's a Tete on the glass.
Offensive rebound for NNC.
And certainly they seem to have picked up their footwork in around the basket as they seem a lot more aggressive on the offensive glass now.
They're a lot more active.
Spencer working with Baumgars right now. Boy, they're
just got to take the ball to the hole on him. When he shoves you, it's not a foul unless they call it. So you've got to turn and take him right to the hole and make him foul you. Make the officials say that's enough.
Which they did that time, and that's going to be Baumgar's third personal.
Here it is, the loose ball right here, picked back up by Spencer. He says, well, I'm getting shoved, let me take it to the basket. Officials didn't call it till he put it on the floor.
Good ball pressure from the Red Raiders right now. Atete working inside. Can't hit the bucket.
Great
the rebound
screen
goes to Ostra.
I was wondering when we would see equal quickness to NNC, and we're seeing it.
And as a result, a very even ball game. 43-42, Northwestern leading NNC. Baumgars working on Spencer.
Very good at turning, getting the body contact, and just bumping you off him and then shooting the little one.
Baumgars now with 10. He averages 18 for the year, and he's given the Red Raiders a 3-point lead. Spencer will try the 17-footer. Spencer now with 14. Lead is back to 1 for Northwestern. Atete picking off the inbounds pass.
Atete showing great quickness within about a 6-foot box there, but then not leading the break as he went out with a tender ankle in the first half.
Shoemaker driving inside, off the glass, get hit. There's Atete.
It may be Atete time to take over. He's done it in every ball game thus far.
He gives the Crusaders the lead. That's Ostra. He can't hit the three. And Spencer with the rebound.
NNC with 4 people on the glass that time. The Red Raiders with only 1.
And Atete going to draw the personal foul on Anderson down low for Jason Anderson, just his first. But you get the sense, Ross, that Atete starting to take things over.
Yeah, but he got down the floor in a hurry here, and you can see he's down before the defense. It's just setting up. It's not a standing defense. It's just setting up the one-bounce feed to him and the foul on the entry. Not an easy pass once everybody's down and set defensively, but Atete getting out and running the floor there, essentially a secondary break to your big man.
4 fouls now on Northwestern this second half. NNC with 0. Shoemaker.
And this crowd is starting to rock it.
Another 3 for Todd Shoemaker, and the lead is now 4.
Watch the Red Raiders run some clock. They'll try and keep the ball in Duma's hands. They're going to run through the offense, see if they go all the way, they get the foul.
Winterfeld driving on the baseline, and he's going to draw the personal. It's going to be on Sheldon McLean, and for McLean, his first.
The intensity is shown in that last foul. Goodness gracious, he went up, he was fouled from behind on the drive, he tried to shoot it anyway, and he was absolutely hammered by Marion, just given a shoulder in the chest.
Brown drives inside, can't hit the shot, but there's Winterfeld on the glass. Other way, Atete.
It's Rolando finding him. Atete outrunning everybody, and Rolando finding him and throwing a 3/4 court lead pass.
Garcia back in the lineup now, and his assist helps the Crusaders to lead it by 4. And McLean going to be called on another foul on Winterfeld, as he and Winterfeld are just going at it tooth and nail.
Yeah, he took a full swing at him when he tried to block the shot last time and hit Winterfeld square in the head. And then as Winterfeld came to the floor, Marion pretty well stuck him with an elbow. So it's very rough out there underneath. The intensity going up, NNC leading the intensity up. They needed to. They were a wee bit foot slow. Watch the pressure on the ball.
Yeah, they seem much more aggressive, seem to be taking the game to Northwestern instead of the other way around, and like it was in the first half. As a result, Crusaders lead it by 4. Ball knocked away by Atete. Shoemaker up with it.
And he's out on the run.
Shoemaker kicks it to Garcia for 3. But there's Garcia on the glass, gets the bucket, and draws the foul.
NNC in the transition game. Absolutely never stopping the attack. The Red Raiders got back. They'll take a timeout here to get this place slowed down. It is going wild.
Crusaders lead it by 6 with 13:42 to go. It's 53-47 NNC.
Here's Rolando on the rebound, taking it to the glass. He's fouled there. Watch the hang time. Goes to the weak side and finishes. Nice shot for Garcia. NNC that time pushing the ball on the break and had numbers. I think we have a shot at Eddie Weidenbach in the huddle.
Foul was on John Ostra. His first personal. Good look at the Northwestern bench. And right now, Todd Berry has to settle his club down a little bit. And they have to find the intensity that they had in that first half of play, because right now, NNC really taking the game to them.
I think NNC's taking them, and NNC's beginning to get numbers running, and it's all start with Atete. When Atete leads the break, everybody at NNC runs. When he stays back, they have a hard time getting there, because when he runs the break, the Raiders have to honor him in the key. So they have to go into the key and close up the defense. Then you see the ball being popped out to Garcia. He's open on the perimeter, can shoot it, can find holes to go get the rebounds. But it's because Atete is running and getting under the basket quickly, and he must be honored under there.
And certainly was shown in that last example, as Garcia had no problem getting the rebound and able to finish off the three-point play. Garcia now with 5, and the lead is at 7 for NNC.
NNC to the zone. They're trapping the corner.
Well, the pressure on the ball is tremendous, and another opportunity for the Crusaders. Ball was knocked away by Dalma, but retrieved by Garcia. Shoemaker open for 3. Can't hit it, and Ostra with the rebound. Red Raiders coming the other way.
3-on-2.
Winterfeld, ball knocked away, but Dalma down with it for 3.
He's automatic. Saw him in a one-point ball game last night. Never shudder. Just gunning it at every opportunity.
Oh, the inbounds pass to Atete. A Shoemaker, just a quick pass inside.
Ball location, taking it around very quickly before the defense could get set.
The entry pass making the basket, and Atete now with 8, the lead at 6 for NNC. Atete, another steal.
It's been his 6 minutes.
Garcia, Marion. Shoemaker trying to look inside. Goes to Atete. He works inside with the bucket and the foul.
Oh, my goodness. A great move. I thought he'd almost turned his ankle as he didn't jump. He just exploded across the bucket face and puts it up with the left hand and in. What is happening is the Red Raiders are getting back in the primary break. But as Atete's posting up, he's getting a secondary break turn. And that's how they're getting a quick look at the 3 and then the ball back on the block. Not too dissimilar than the old secondary break we saw the Portland Trailblazers when they won the World Championship with Walton. They were always attacking you. If they didn't get you with a primary run, they put the ball in the perimeter and entered it back.
And more importantly, Joe Baumgars committing the personal foul. He now has 4 and has to go to the bench with 12:27 remaining. Atete finishes the three-point play. He has 11.
That particular foul is a lot bigger than that bucket.
And now Baumgars, our second leading scorer, will have to sit on the bench as the Red Raiders try to withstand this run. Brown goes inside. He will draw the foul. Looks like they're going to call it on Atete. That will be the case. So Emiko Atete picking up the personal, just his first.
The example of his activity early in the ballgame. Here's the hard drive to the hole. Pick whoever you want to foul him. Marion tries to give him a knee and he misses him. And Atete fouls him from behind.
Dalma looking to shoot it, but nowhere to go. That's Brown who checked in for Baumgars, and they're going to call the foul on Atete.
Officials trying to get this a wee bit under control as the intensity has gone right to the roof in this place.
Now Atete will go to the bench with 2 personals, and Spencer will now come back in. Certainly he could be a key man in this stretch for NNC with Baumgars now on the bench. Spencer, who's had a good night offensively with 14, could become a bigger factor.
Played very well offensively. And Baumgart's going to score on anybody. So
Ross Dalma misses the shot, but he draws the foul.
Here's an example of NNC's intensity's just gone too high. Okay, they broke the game with good quality defense and higher intensity, but now they got the steals and they're looking for the steals now. They're trying to make it happen. You can't make it happen artificially. You just have to stay there, play hard, play good quality position, and use fast feet, and things will come to you, like the rebounds and the automatic turnovers, but you can't force it.
Ross Dalma, 80% free throw shooter. Hits the first one. The foul was on Chad Herron. His first personal. 16 fouls on Northwestern, 5 on NNC. 11:57 remaining. And Dalma, since he was behind the three-point line, an opportunity to cash on 3.
Red Raiders shooting 91% from the free throw line tonight.
They're a good free throw shooting team anyway. They shoot 75% as a team, and Dalma taking advantage by hitting all 3, and now the lead is 6 for NNC. Spencer, and he's going to be fouled
the
from
officials
behind.
have decided it's just too rough. You know, and it's odd it wasn't too rough when guys were getting their teeth knocked out, because that was an example of one team playing with great intensity and the other team not, and so people get hurt. Now everybody's playing hard, and they just need to make sure that this thing stays even here. What they're calling, you can be happy or upset at home about these fouls, but as soon as you put pressure that affects the play, if you affect them, then they call the foul. It's how you see Emiko sometimes get called for hand fouls, because he's that strong. He's able to hold them with just one hand and affect the play.
Marion driving to the basket, can't hit the bucket. He'll draw the offensive foul. Foul on Marion will be his second. This was after another missed free throw by NNC. Marion was able to get the board. Tried to do a little too much here, though, and so much so that we went to black. knocked the lights out.
It was that rough a foul.
59-53, NNC leads it.
You got to try and put the ball down low.
Anderson trying to work on Marion.
Much better defensive pressure by the Crusaders on the perimeter.
Winterfeld driving to the bucket, hits the side, and it comes out to McLean. Garcia gets the open look, drives to the bucket. Can't hit the layup, though, and Anderson with the rebound. Dalma looks for the three. Can't hit it, and there's Spencer going the other way.
Momentum's up in the air. Either team can grab it at this juncture.
Crusaders leading at 59-53. Spencer down low. Ball stripped away by Winterfeld.
Back and forth. Neither team getting quality shots in the last 4 trips.
Brown working on Spencer. Can't get it, but there's Anderson. He can't hit it, and McLean with a great box out on Winterfeld as he goes to the floor. Heron tried to get it to Garcia, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds off of Winterfeld.
The extra pass NNC's been getting as standard fare in this tournament is not here against the Red Raiders. Every time they go to make that extra pass, it's almost always a steal or the ball knocked away.
Key moment here for the Red Raiders. Coach Todd Berry feeling he has to get his big man Joe Baumgars back in the ball game, and he will come back with 10:01 remaining with the 4 personal fouls.
And Weidenbach immediately goes to Atete, says, hey, look, we're going to go power on power here.
Atete now back into the lineup. He has just 2 personals, though.
Need to enter the ball.
McLean and Baumgars with the rebound. Boy, the action away from the ball just fierce right now. Winterfeld slashing in. Can't hit the jumper, and there's Spencer for the rebound.
Atete down early.
Garcia hits the bucket.
There's the example of Atete down there, sliding through the key as Garcia started his drive, and there was no one there to help by the time the Garcia, you see him come around Atete, and by the time he gets there, Baumgart cannot help with the foul situation. He has to stay with Atete, open layup.
And the foul on Ben Brown, his 3rd, as he grabbed Garcia on the way by.
It's Atete hurrying, creating that shot.
And right now, the big people for Northwestern starting to get in a little bit of foul difficulty. As Garcia misses the free throw, Brown the rebound, 61-53. NNC, there's Baumgars wide open at the other end.
NNC got outrun by 2 people that time down the floor.
6-point game.
1-4 low. Oh my goodness, it's on Baumgartner, he's gone. He absolutely knocks Shoemakers in the head as he comes through the screen. Shoemaker gets his hands up, screening him, and Baumgart absolutely takes a shot on him coming through the key.
Boy, you have to be cognizant of the fact that with 4 fouls, you just have to avoid that stuff, particularly with over 9 minutes remaining in this quarterfinal.
Little feisty point guard screening you. And Shoemaker screened him for all it was worth. And he just got his hands up around Shoemaker's head, came through the screen, says, you can't do this to me, and the official was looking right at him. Shot right in the head.
Baumgars will now foul out with 9:16 to go. Goes to the bench with 12 points. And certainly the Red Raiders are going to miss their big guy, particularly down on the baseline in their offense.
Yes, and you've seen now Atete has been matched up the other way. They'll now have to put their big person on Atete and see what that'll leave Spencer with size advantage on the baseline.
Shoemaker able to hit the first free throw.
Anderson will now guard Spencer, and Anderson is a perimeter player. Big wide body perimeter player, but nevertheless.
The lead is 7 for the Crusaders. And Dalma loses control, and Shoemaker comes up with it. Garcia looking to penetrate. He's going to be fouled by Winterfeld, and for Winterfeld, that's going to be his 4th. And now the foul situation. Northwestern with 10 team fouls, so NNC will shoot 2 free throws for the final 9:02.
NNC getting out with numbers. Garcia not taking the first one, just continuing to search with the hard-pounding dribble, and you can see the foul right there on the reach.
Timeout now for Northwestern. 9:02 remaining. NNC leads at 62-55. Ross Cook, quarterfinal action of this NAIA Division II National Championship. Northwest Nazarene leading it by 7 as Rolando Garcia, the 5'10 senior guard for the Crusaders, goes to the line for 2. Garcia tonight with 8 points. But certainly his floor leadership has been a real key in this second half, as well as the plays of Miko Atete.
Atete's play has been brilliant off the ball. It's quickly turned around. Northwestern shooting 39% from the field. NNC shooting 42. Both teams a lot colder than they've been all tournament, but nevertheless, it was the other way around in the first half.
And
Northwestern shooting better.
Score reflects that right now. Nice backdoor cut that time by Hoffman. Kurt Hoffman, the 6'1 sophomore, getting his first bucket.
Needing a bucket, they come out of a timeout, play 1-4, and get a layup.
Spencer working on Brown. Goes inside. He's going to draw the foul on Brown. That's going to be number 4. And
Spencer's very tough because he puts the ball on the floor and then he just jumps into you. He just jumps into you. Now, if you're playing defense, do I play defense on him or do I go to the floor? Well, if he gets his foot outside your foot, you can't go to the floor because they won't give you the call. So you stand in there and you end up picking up the foul. Big, strong body. What he's doing, he's backing into you and he's got you pinned on his hip. When he turns, you're spun around to halfway behind him.
Spencer having a big night offensively. He averages 9 a game, but tonight he has 15.
I love these microphones. Let's see if he rips net on this. Not
Hits
quite.
the iron, but the iron is kind. 66-57 now in favor of NNC. Just under 8.5 minutes remaining.
They go back to the 1-4.
Ross Dalma can't hit, and there's Atete.
NNC would be plenty happy to see Ross Dalma continue to shoot that one.
As compared to his second cousin, Craig, who's been fairly quiet in this second half of play. Garcia working the baseline, goes in, can't hit the shot, bodies to the floor. There's Atete.
The difference on the boards, Atete's come to play in the second half.
NNC with their largest lead of the game at 11. Brown kicks it back out to Hoffman. Brown working inside and throws up a brick.
The difference is now when it goes to the block, they don't have their All-American scorer down there. NNC can put more and more pressure out away from the bucket.
And it has certainly shown in the last couple of minutes since Baumgart checked out with that 5th foul. The shots are not coming easier for the Red Raiders.
Going to look at Spencer again.
Spencer with the hook. Hits the side of the glass, and oh, there's going to be a foul on Spencer as he and Brown got tangled up. And the foul on Spencer will be his 3rd. Classic case where the arms got tangled up. Spencer went down the floor, wasn't able to get loose. And Brown going to the floor. We'll get a good look at it right here.
Example of how hard they're playing. Look at him starting to take off, and they're holding each other locked up on the elbows, and Spencer takes off behind him and knocks him to the floor.
17 foul on NNC, so Ben Brown, the 6'5 sophomore, will go to the line. Brown, 64% free throw shooter.
The tide is turned. Team shooting 91% in this ball game, starts to miss free throws. It's pressure from NNC. Offensive pressure and defensive pressure. But primarily in this half, it's offensive, and that man right there.
Miko Atete continues to light it up. Just 2 points at the half. He now has 15. The ball pressure, as you mentioned, Ross, you can see there are NNC players all over the perimeter now. Winterfeld hits a clutch 3. They count it as a 2, though. Foot on the line. 2-pointer for Winterfeld. He now has 13, and the lead is 10.
Winterfeld talking to McLean on that one as McLean undercut him a little bit on the shot. That's how tough the pressure is at 3.
70-60. make it 72. Amico Atete.
I think, I mean this in a kind sense, but if you're guarding Amico Atete, you have to foul him hard one of these times. When he turns around with that jump shot, you have to flat foul him hard to get his attention, because right now he's in a zone all of his own.
Foul going to be called on the baseline on Garcia as he was trying to shut off Winterfeld, and for Rolando Garcia, his third personal.
For a team that got out-rebounded 30-16 in the first half, NNC now 14-7 in the lead in the second half.
And I think it just comes down to a simple case of intensity. We talked about it during the halftime break and the fact that NNC had to step it up and get a step quicker. I think they've gone 2 steps quicker in the second half.
And Amico's come to play in the second half. I do believe early in the first half when we had a close-up of him tying his shoelaces, I think he semi-sprained his ankle at that point and played tentatively for a while. Then we saw him go to the locker room with a minute to go in the half with a sore ankle, and they must have iced it down all the time, and now he's back to play.
6:04 remaining. It's NNC leading at 72-59.
To keep a friend.
Northwestern by 3 at the break, but now NNC leading it by 13 as Winterfeld will go to the line for the Red Raiders. And Winterfeld continuing to play a very solid ball game, 14 points, right about his average for the year. Marion with a rebound.
NNC has creeped to a 12-point lead.
Lob pass, Marion! This Montgomery Fieldhouse crowd is into it now as the Crusaders lead it by 14. Dalma trying to get free. Winterfeld will try the 3. Can't hit it. Brown blocked by Atete.
It's rocking right here. And it'll only rock in this national tournament for one team in this gymnasium like that. That's NNC up 14 with 5:30 to go.
Montgomery Madness. In trouble getting the ball in, but the Red Raiders finally get it to Anderson. Dalma strolls across the lane, and they're going to call the travel. I think a simple case of where Craig was just trying to do a little too much. And boy, I tell you what, Ross, the loss of Baumgar is really being felt right now.
They have been wonderful at bringing the ball down, playing slowly. They take the ball in the back door again, go to Marion on the high feed.
And Atete knocks it out of bounds. So the Red Raiders will retain possession.
The loss of Baumgartner's hurt them because they answered NNC's intensity in the first half and even the first couple minutes of the second half by slowing the ball, putting it on the block, and letting him go to work. He's a great scorer. And now NNC, watch the defensive pressure out near the white stripe. They're really putting a lot of pressure outside.
Dalma hits the 3.
They need more pressure outside the white stripe.
Boy, he was nearly out of bounds. Just a great score.
Heron back for the Crusaders.
23 points for Craig Dalma, matching his season average. Schumacher's open. Can't hit the 3. Atete is going to get the foul over the back. And for Amico Atete, his third personal. 3 starters now for NNC with 3. Garcia, Atete, and Spencer.
Nice close-up there, seeing the intensity in each other's eyes here. Ball goes up, Atete over the back.
Jason Anderson blocking off. Will go to the line now. 9th team foul on NNC, so the 1-on-1 still in effect. And Anderson able to hit the free throw, 72% from the line for the year. He now has 5 for the Red Raiders.
You're at the point now where you need the clock to run if you're NNC. You don't want to foul over the back. You don't want to loosen your intensity at all, but it's time for this clock to run. If you're the Red Raiders, you're going to try and stop the clock at every turn.
9-point lead for the Crusaders. Marion down low.
NNC a lot more deliberate now.
Atete's open. Ball knocked away by Anderson out of bounds. Real gamble by Anderson, but it paid off because Atete gets that ball. It's a jam.
Good patience, actually running false motion, putting the ball to Marion in and out twice and then running the back screen for Atete. 14 on the shot clock, it's down to 10.
Garcia resets it. He'll drive baseline. Marion has to throw up a three, but there's Garcia. Atete retrieves it, and NNC will reset.
Great play to save the ball and Atete to come get the loose ball.
And whereas NNC was a step slow in the first half, they seem to be a step quicker right now.
They certainly are. They have taken the legs off themselves a little bit with their intensity in the first half, talking about the Red Raiders.
Atete will try the jumper. There's Garcia inside. We're going to have a foul inside on the Red Raiders, and it's going to go against Brown, and that's going to be number 5 for him.
Very rough. The officials are, I mean, everybody's fouling so hard away from the ball right now. They're just picking out the most violent of the fouls.
McLean will now check back in for NNC, but now Northwestern down 2 big people. Baumgart's fouling out the 9-minute mark, and now Brown fouling out with 3:35 remaining. So a real predicament for Northwestern as far as size is concerned.
And in the first half, it was the other way around. Foul situation certainly favoring the Red Raiders as they had great ball location. The ball was from about 10 feet on into the hoop all the time. They were getting the rebounds. They were the team that was a step quicker, and now NNC has picked it up. They're the first one to the ball. They're the first one to the rebound, and the fouls are reflecting that.
Marion hitting the first free throw. He has 3 points.
Fouls come when you have to follow the ball, when you don't get there first.
And NNC has been getting the ball in the second half. It's paid off in a 10-point, making an 11-point lead.
3:35. I don't know if Eddie will take the air out of it, but we're nearing that time that start counting the possessions as you're sitting home in your lounge chair. Oh, goodness, a big one.
Oh, a turnover there, and Garcia's going to have an easy bucket. 13-point lead now for the Crusaders.
This is the second-rated team in America, ladies and gentlemen. Being treated very rudely by the Crusaders at this point.
Oh, fast break. Atete had the ball, able to retrieve it. Garcia pulls it back out. Boy, the senior leadership showing right there.
Atete's very tender on that ankle. You can see him limping at the high post.
Well, if NNC does go on to win this, he'll get a day to rest as the semifinals will be played Monday night here at Montgomery Fieldhouse.
Atete off the ball with the elbow.
And I'm sure Coach Ed Weidenbach didn't want to see that, as the foul on Atete will be his 4th. But more importantly, stops the clock with 2:43 to go.
Yeah, you need the clock just to keep running there. There was probably another 10 seconds before the shot.
And Atete will now come out, and Spencer will check in.
Atete tried to go through the key and was fouled hard. He couldn't get through the key, so then it was his turn. He went to the weak side and got to set a couple picks, and as the people came through the picks, he absolutely got his elbows up high, and the officials just won't let you screen with your hands up around your head.
Winterfeld at the line for 2 shots, able to bury the first, as Kurt Hoffman will now check in. Coming in at the 2:43 mark. Much smaller lineup now on the floor for the Red Raiders, as trailing it now by 11 points.
Half-court trap. 1-2-1-1.
McLean, he'll look at the 3. There's Spencer inside.
Everything going in NC's way.
The size paying off that time for the Crusaders.
Tremendous size advantage right now.
Dalma can't hit the 3. Fast break opportunity. Shoemaker down to Marion. Back to McLean.
And they pull it. Good, wise decision. Veteran point guard, Rolando Garcia.
Still 20 seconds on the shot clock as we're just about ready to hit the 2-minute mark to go in this second half. NNC in control, leading it by 13.
NNC to the 4 corners completely. Now they put a high post in the middle of it.
8 seconds on the shot clock. Spencer for 17. Anderson with the board. Winterfeld for three. Buries it. Winterfeld, his first three-pointer, and Northwestern will call time with 1:34 remaining. NNC's lead now cut down to 10 points.
Mike, this is a four-possession ball game at this point, and we've seen these teams in this tournament today literally make 36 seconds last 14 turnovers. Now, that doesn't even seem possible, but that is an example of them really playing the possessions well. These teams this is the national dance here. This isn't a tournament that they're going to go somewhere else. They're going to take the summer off if they lose this one.
1:34 remaining, as we mentioned. Good look at Todd Berry right there in his fourth year at Northwestern. 91-32 in his 4 years in Orange City, Iowa. 27-3 this year, and he's done an outstanding job with that program. His first collegiate head coaching job, and certainly doing a great job with the Red Raiders.
Every high school coach's dream.
Get to the collegiate level, and it's paid off, and you can't talk enough about the job that Ed Weidenbach's done at NNC. Third straight year that they've gone to the national tournament under him. One of just 4 schools in the country to get to all 3 NAIA Division II national championships. Went to the semis last year, lost in overtime, hoping to go that one step beyond this year. And right now, they're just a minute 34 from getting back to the semifinals. If they win this, they'll take on Eureka of Illinois, a team they knocked off in the quarterfinals last year, so they're very familiar with them.
Incredible intensity. Everybody's shooting the ball very well, but in the last 2 ball games, we've actually seen the scores go very low as defense has come to the fore. Everybody playing extremely hard, and we haven't seen anybody light anybody up in today's round.
NNC to inbounds. And the Crusaders right now looking just run the clock as Northwestern going with just man pressure.
Here comes the trap. NNC playing 3 guards. This is the 4-corner without the dribble that was made so famous by North Carolina in the Phil Ford years. Actually, George Carl was the first person ever to run the point guard at that school when they were playing that offense. Now the coach of the Seattle Supersonics.
Ross Dalmo with the foul, and Sheldon McLean
Got to
goes
make
to the
free
line.
throws to take this thing home.
McLean, who had 22 in the win over Alice Lloyd, just 3 tonight, but it just tells you the balance that NNC has gotten throughout this tournament. Seems to be different players every night.
In the last 15 games, they have 7 players in double figures. There weren't many shots in the second half that Atete didn't have for about an 8-minute stretch, as he scored 13 very quick points, and NNC ends up with the lead.
Crusaders up by 11. And McLean can't hit the second free throw, and Ross Dalmo with the rebound. Approaching the 1-minute mark. Red Raiders need points and need them in a hurry. Atete, the quick hands, nearly comes up with a steal. Shoemaker came up with it. Anderson from way outside. Garcia with the board, and he will be fouled in the backcourt by Craig Dalma. For Dalma, his 3rd personal. As Garcia will now go to the line. Garcia, a 78% free throw shooter.
Good quick foul here by Dalma. Not only a great shooter, but a great leader for this team as he gets up very quickly and gives the foul. Only his 3rd in the ball game.
54 seconds remaining, and the Crusaders in control, leading it by 11.
Senior point guard.
I think assistant coach Rich Sanders said it best. Rowe is a winner. He is a winner, and he's certainly shown his leadership tonight. Even though he had to go out after getting smacked in the face earlier in this contest, he's come back off the mat.
You and I are the only people in this arena who haven't been smacked in the face tonight.
Marion with the board, and now NNC looking to run it out, and Dalma's going to pick up his 4th personal. And Garcia will go back to the line with a chance to extend the Crusader lead. But right now, Montgomery faithful, knowing they're going to be back here Monday night.
Pretty well have it in the bag. They're shooting 2 in a row now, and they're going to keep the ball in Orlando's hands the whole time.
But you don't see anyone leaving the exits right now. These students are still into it. Checking back in for Northwestern will be John Ostra. He's going to come in for Dan Winterfeld, 6'3" senior. Winterfeld checking out, finishing the night with 19 points.
NNC with 17 rebounds in the second half, 10 rebounds for Northwestern.
Garcia missing both free throws, highly unusual for him. Dalma kept his pivot foot. Fans were looking for the walk. Foul's going to be on Shoemaker.
Eddie Weidenbach, absolutely
Wondering why.
Schizophrenic. He was beside himself there. He was, what is it? Wait, just run the clock for 32 ticks and we'll take this thing home. Northwestern shooting 23% in the second half from three-point range, and NNC warming up to 33%. Truly a great player. Craig Dalma heading to the bench.
Ending his fine career at Northwestern. Same time, Emiko Atete checking out, but for Craig Dalma, he will end his career here tonight. Certainly not the way he wanted it to end. But another fine night for the All-American as he finishes with 23 points to lead the Red Raiders. Dalma able to hit both in the lead right now at 11.
Emiko Atete to the bench, certainly the difference tonight, as he has been in both of the other ball games. It just took longer to get to the front.
Garcia had it stolen, then stole it right back, and McLean going to draw the foul in the backcourt with 21 seconds remaining.
Team's very good at squeezing this clock. You can see they can stop it about every 9 seconds.
Foul on Kent Dalma, one of the 3 Dalmas on this team, 6'2" sophomore. And McLean now 2 for 3 from the line. He now has 5. Make it 6.
What a turnaround. Playing like champions, they were a step behind.
Hoffman nearly throwing it away. Ross Dalma able to retrieve it. He'll try the 3 and sticks it. And no quit on the Red Raiders, but just a too little too late as NNC. Shoemaker throws it away with 2 seconds remaining, looking for the lob to Marion. Of course, leading it by 10 with just 2 seconds remaining. NNC's coaches not too terribly concerned, and the Montgomery faithful to their feet as Northwest Nazarene will advance to the semifinals of the NAIA Division II National Championships as they knock off the #2 team in the nation, Northwestern of Iowa, by a score of 85-75. Ross and I will return with all the final statistics and a wrap-up here at Montgomery Fieldhouse after this. Here at Montgomery, the wacky nuts of Montgomery Fieldhouse, and they know they're coming back for at least one more night as NNC advances to the semifinals with an 85-75 win over the #2 team in the nation, Northwestern of Iowa, and certainly rebounding the key in the second half, Ross Cook.
Absolutely turned it around on the rebounds. The rebounding, just so much a difference in Emiko Atete's loose ball and rebounding play. His quickness running on the break allowed the Red Raider defense to have to focus on him as he was getting out early, and it allowed for a bunch of opportunities for NNC in transition because they weren't scoring well against the Red Raider half-court defense.
The transition was certainly the key in that second half, as the NNC able to get second shots, easier shots than they were in the first half, weren't having to rely on the perimeter game, and it's borne out in the statistics as we take a look at leading scorers for NNC. Once again, the balance for the Crusaders led by Eric Spencer's 18 points, but then after that you have Emiko Atete with 17, Chad Herron off the bench with 14, and Todd Shoemaker, Rolando Garcia with 13 apiece.
Atete with 15 second half points. We'd said at the halftime, we said NNC had only scored 34 points, and they'd scored 51, 60, and 54 points in halves just previous to this, and they score 51 in the second half as they actually get on the boards and get some transition opportunities. Shooting reflected it. Northwestern having to play against a stepped-up defense from NNC, and once NNC came out in their first possession and tied this ball game, this place started to rock, and everything they did even close to good was treated with roarous crowds, people just going wild, and that really fed as NNC picked up the tempo to the level they wanted and ran away with this ball game. It wasn't as close as the score looked at the end.
NNC blowing it open, as a matter of fact, midway through that second half, and a key factor in this ball game when Northwestern's all-conference and all-American center Joe Baumgar is going to the bench at the 9:15 mark, fouling out with just 12 points, and they really missed him down the stretch.
Yes, they were masters of controlling tempo. Every time they needed a big bucket, they played inside out extremely well, but they played inside because they had an All-American who could score down there, and he answered every time he got the ball down there. When he wasn't there, NNC just swarmed. They pushed the defense out, said score from the block if you can, and they weren't able to do it.
So NNC advances to the semifinal round. They will take on Eureka of Illinois in the late game in the semifinal round. The opener will have Lewis and Clark against Northern State. Ross and I will be here for both contests on Monday night, so keep the dial right here to TCI 10. For Ross Cook and the entire crew, our final score once again, NNC wins at 85-75. I'm Mike Boyle saying good night, everybody.